You guys are gonna recap, but you're gonna get inspiration if what? No, no. All I see is no.
Oh,
You're gonna
you're not using AirPods,
Who's not using
me?
AirPods?
Stephen.
I don't have AirPods.
Oh, what have you used in the past?
He's been using cord headphones.
Corded headphones.
I pay attention to you.
Why?
Look at it, done.
What was all that about? What did I just miss?
I don't know.
Nothing.
It
Use
sounded
a-
louder.
Use a buffoon.
It sounded like you were using a different input.
I didn't close any of this stuff. I'm gonna fix everything for the aesthetic.
Okay.
Oh, better.
So,
I don't know
what?
what you just did, but it's better. Maybe you're
I haven't
just
touched
screaming the first time.
guys. I'm not doing anything. I'm just here. Just here.
We don't know. We're not sure. But at the end of the day,
Stop it.
I
No.
think it's important that we talk through these things. You know, and that's what's important at the end of the day.
Ignore him.
So we get inspiration.
No.
I get inspiration if what?
If you, I have one specific piece of, I'll just say it this way. You both need to give me the recap of last week. And if you hit a specific thing that either your character learned about, a specific thing that information, whether it's about you or the other person that revolves around your character, I'm looking for something specific that each of you had last session. And if you don't say it, yours, you won't get inspiration.
Great.
Something specific that you're looking for us to say
Correct.
that happened about our character last session.
Or your character was involved with learning something that, or whether that's lore, whether that is interpersonal, whether that is, you see what I'm saying now? Does that make sense?
So let me just clarify. This is a
AKA he's trying to remember anything.
no. Listen, this is a way to penalize Lucas for not taking notes. Is that right?
Not at all.
Bullshit.
This is an article that was written that has to do with how do you help your players, what are interesting ways to give inspiration to your players. This is one of those. The other way that I was gonna do that said was just roll the dice to see if you get inspiration.
Oh no, I'm good. I'll take my notes. But if Luke would like to take a chance,
Take a chance on me.
who sings that song?
I don't know.
How about this? Both of you just tell what happened, and if as you're thinking about it, just this is a 2-3 minute thing.
Yeah, we
Okay.
Oh, go ahead. Go ahead.
You son of a bitch. Fine, I'll get it. I'll get inspiration. So like Jefferson and I had a lot of discussions about this shit that's going on with the whole orb situation. And that I get celestial vibes from Jarvis, which I think is really interesting and really intriguing. I'm excited to learn more. That I remember that I saw like a dark void in his eyeballs, which is kind of terrifying. And then we learned that the Low takes other people's magic in order to do her magic, which I think is really weird because she it's like siphoning, which is terrifying.
So just to stop you right there, I'm gonna stop you right there. Yeah, inspiration, my girl.
Whoop, let's go. I learned all these things.
The thing was that you were using your divine sense and it sensed that there was a celestial piece that was a part of Jarvis that was not there before. Cool. So,
Lucas, what did you learn?
Yes, so many things. It's so difficult to figure out where to start.
if I think what you're saying is you're muted and you're trying to.
So what I guess what I was saying is that it's so difficult to figure out where to start in terms of. There's so many things that I feel like I could possibly earn inspiration on. First, is there? I guess my first question would have to be if there's a bonus if I get
Incorrect.
3 or more.
No, all that is just being correct.
Okay. There wasn't much of a recap there, so I guess I'm going to start from top of the session, just kind of go like a Spark Notes version, go through, and God, I hope I land on something that gives me inspiration. So anyway, we're on the ship. We wake up, and there's debris. It's almost immediate where we're thrown into chaos.
Incorrect. Already, I'm gonna. Can you stay after class?
I'm sorry.
That was not this session.
That wasn't this session. You're right.
Before.
The session last week is we picked up where right after Jarvis got rescued. Actually, he died.
Correct. You can start there now.
Yeah, there was a conversation with Jarvis and Nova. I was just testing you guys to make sure that you guys knew where we were. But it was a conversation between Jarvis and Nova. It was very charismatic on Jarvis's end, and oddly so for him. And we spoke about things, and he was essentially asking Nova for help. He didn't really know where to turn when it came to these things that he was feeling. That is when the celestial, you sense something celestial with the embrace. And what's really important to note here is that Jarvis has an orb, and inside of this orb, which is somewhat gelatinous, seems to be a shadowy nucleus, which, Jarvis kind of learned that it had something to do with obviously with Lolth, and the power that she actually was sucking it from magic users all around, I guess, this world, and she was essentially stealing other people's powers to be able to do what she was doing by...
So just reiterating what I said.
No. What?
That's literally what I said.
I wasn't listening. And so essentially, that's how she got the powers to be able to do what she was, doing with Nova.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, and beyond that, another thing that I feel like would most certainly earn me inspiration would definitely be that there's most certainly something odd at play on this ship, and we're about to figure out what that is.
Can I steal his inspiration if I have another thing that my character learned?
How about this? You can help him get his inspiration.
This one thing was just something I learned because I was curious as to why Elroy was such a douchebag. It's because he was butthurt because you left. What else? Let's think about other things that happened with Jarvis. Oh, Jarvis can do sorcery magic. That's something that you learned, honey. You learned that you can do magic now, and you did with the ether thing. Got that whole part.
We don't. Yeah. So
Talk about Bruno.
Sure. Well,
Talk about Bruno. So, okay, all of that is accurate. There's just one interesting piece that you gained that had to do with, maybe the moment when that ether thing
He can
was
absorb things. I don't,
What-
remember what it's called. I don't remember what the spell is called. He knows.
He can cast that and that do that absolutely.
that's not what you're getting at, though. You're talking about the orb being able to absorb things. No.
No, that the ether is now a part of you. Like you
The ether
now-
is, yeah, there's something, yeah, the ether is, it's not gone, it went somewhere, and,
You but just I don't want to confuse you. You destroyed it,
Right.
but it just hit you a bit, and there was just that weird moment.
right,
So don't
where,
think too
like,
much into that.
it almost
Just-
felt like I heard something from really
Yeah.
far away, something dying.
Yeah, don't
Yeah.
worry. Don't get too caught up in that. That's just flavory stuff. I will tell you what. I mean, we've got basically an hour to play, so
Okay, but can you give us a hint and then see if I
it
remember?
has to do with the orb.
It has to do with the orb. It's connected to Jarvis. Notice that when I was using my abilities, that it started to float, and yeah, it started to float. And beyond that, you could say that it is
The source of your power?
the source.
Oh,
power, yeah.
potentially there's connection there.
Correct.
Yeah, because it
Hey.
didn't float when I used magic, but it floated when he used magic.
I'm gonna, you know what?
That is correct.
I think I'm gonna give myself inspiration there. I felt like that was stolen from me because I was about to say that, but you know, it's okay.
Oh my god.
You know what? A teamwork, it's a team effort.
We take the trips.
So you take the trips.
We take the trips.
So, and where did you you leave off at?
Last we left off, the heroes of the Forgotten Realms were, they were actually taking a rest.
We're going to sleep.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, because and the last thing that you did, Jarvis, was listening to Captain Appleback and Carnage having a conversation.
That's right.
The last thing I did was carry a bunch of water up and down the stairs and
Yep.
talk to Maggie.
It sounded like Jarvis heard them arguing of sorts, and specifically about the fact that Appleback sounds like he's kind of flying off the chain a little bit, and he might be scaring some people on board.
Yeah,
So-
because he killed Saharit.
Just absolutely just blew his brains out. Yeah,
In front of everybody.
yeah. It was a gunshot to the head, wasn't it?
Absolutely, it was a.
And the gun made him freak out
Correct.
Tails, bitch.
when it went off.
Yeah, mark whatever's heads. What's tails? Mark it. Let us know.
Tails, bitch. You know.
Mine is written very faintly. It says heads, bitch.
Okay, cool. So you guys go down. Oh, and you have a little Jackie moment where Jackie and you threaten each other, Jarvis.
Yes, I kill you.
I kill you.
My bones, your bones.
That's what you remember too. That's
Lark
phenomenal.
just like licked straight up my foot and scared the crap out of me.
Wait. I know sleep.
I know sleep. I know sleep. Okay, cool. So, slumber. Remember, it is it's the epitome of winter. Every time you go down to sleep, it is a very cold experience. So, with that being said, go ahead and make a Constitution saving throw.
Yikes. That'd be a 6.
Cool.
Cool.
Incredible.
Incredible.
Time saving throw.
You're muted.
I'm counting.
And after you tell us what you got, go ahead.
25.
Wow, honey. Damn, you're wireless.
I rolled.
Can you
a
grab me
16.
fire?
I rolled a 16, and then I had +5 plus another 4 because of my paladin stuff
Yep.
and my cloak.
Love it. He gets plus if he's within how many feet of you? 10 feet. He gets plus.
How much?
3, I think.
3? Then it's a 9.
Okay, cool. Nova gets comfy cozy pretty quickly. Up there. It's not snowing as much as it's a very cold, windy, waves rustling kind of night. And to that point, though, Jarvis, you grip onto your orb, and you've slept outside so many times. You've got feathers. However, you are shaking. You are freezing. And it feels like it's coming from the core of your chest. And at this point, you're not going to be able to go to sleep fully.
Yeah, that sucks.
So at 1 hour goes in, 2 hours, Nova's asleep. She's kind of up to your back. She's covered. She's contained. You look over quickly to Jackie, and Jackie just staring at you. Eventually, it lays away and it goes. But at about hour 3, you're You're so cold, you're shaking, you're not gonna be able to go to sleep tonight.
Um,
So at hour 3, 4, what do you do?
yeah, Jarvis is kind of tossing and turning. At about the second hour, he's just stuck staring straight up into the sky, looking at the stars, looking at the night sky. Tries to fall back asleep, but he just keeps tossing and turning. At the fourth hour, Jarvis finally just wakes up, and at around what time is that?
We'll just say about 4 in the morning. But no, we'll say like 3 or 4 in the morning.
At about 4 in the morning, Jarvis decides to just sit up and kind of give up a little bit, and I just want to look around and see what's going on the ship.
Yeah, it's clearly gotten foggy. Like it's clearly gotten foggy around. Like your ship is like moving pretty heavily in the waves. The night sky is gorgeous, shooting stars all over. You can see 3 different moons, 3 different sizes, horizons all around. But then you're getting hit with like pockets of what feels like to be like frozen fog, just like kind of comes through the ship, and it like as it goes through, like you can feel it touch up against your face like dew. But they're not small enough where it's like, oh, you're going through a cloud. They're pretty thin, but you realize what you've gone through after you've gone through it, sort of a thing. It's like, okay, we just went through like a weird foggy, snowy, whatever. Looking down, you see Elroy sitting at the steps, twiddling 2 blades in one hand as he spins, sitting, looks up at you as you stand. What do you do?
I'm just gonna a head nod at him. And any other action going on the ship? Can I assume that everybody's sleeping?
The only other person that's up is Crispy, and it looks like Crispy has a bunch of nets and a bunch of kind of like rods and rope that he's bringing up from downstairs, and they all look soaking wet. And he's putting them in piles next to the side of the ship.
Can I assume why Elroy is awake right now, based on my experience as a pirate for a short period of time?
You've always seen him go to sleep, for what it's worth. You've
Okay,
never
so
seen
this
him
is
not
new.
sleep.
Okay.
Correct.
Okay. And just so that I can be clear here, Elroy's
Correct.
the one that is very weird with me. So
Correct.
recently, since I became.
And again, and just so we're clear, like kind of outside a game here, like yes, I know Jarvis. We both know Jarvis has spent time pirating, some other stuff with the crew maybe or whatever. Just for the ease of game, like new things are just gonna come his way.
Yeah.
And we could spend hours outside a game like getting you information to know everything, but it's just kind of easier and more fun to just let you
It
both
is.
experience. Does that make sense?
And I think it's better for the story too. I feel like the fact that it's different is.
I'm trying to make it different.
Yeah. No. Okay.
Okay, go. He doesn't nod at you, but he does get up, and he goes and helps Crispy, while you see a transparenty hand moving the steering wheel and holding it.
Do I know who's doing that?
You
Mage
assume
hand?
it would be Elroy.
Elroy. Okay. I'm gonna. Is there any more room up where I can perch up higher? I'd like to go perch up high.
Yeah, there's about
above me.
There's about 5 or 6 feet of the pole that then is just like the very thin, like an 8-inch in radius pole tip.
Okay. I'm gonna scurry, almost like he woke up and forgot that he even had the orb. He's gonna scurry for the orb, almost like he lost it and remembers that he put it in his pack.
Make a perception check for me on this one.
14.
Okay. There's a moment where you look into your bag and it's not there.
Anywhere else around me right now?
Are you going to try to shuffle around and look around in like
Yeah,
just around the area?
I'm gonna look
Okay.
around where we're
Yeah.
laying.
Yeah, eventually you do. It looks like to be just right under the blanket, right behind Nova's back.
Okay. I'm gonna go over and grab it, and as he grabs it from kind of close to her, he kind of looks at Nova, checks to make sure that she's sleeping.
Completely asleep.
Um, when I pick it up, is it normal? Actually, I'm specifically noticing when I touch it, when I grab it and pick it up. I want to see if there's any difference from when I'm not touching it.
Go ahead and make an insight check. Yeah.
That's for 15.
Seems the same. At this point, just give me an overarching what is he normally going to be doing in this time?
Yeah. My plan was he's gonna go up and perch for a little bit, and put the orb in his pack and soar around. Just kind of fly around the ship like he used to do at night when he couldn't sleep before.
Another perception check for me. With advantage.
26.
Holy shit. How would you define how he would understand a change in weather?
Well,
How about this?
yeah.
How about this? Even before the change happens, how does he know that there's a change coming?
Yeah, so it's with his ability here, which gives him advantage on perception checks, which
Yep,
is
there's hypersensitivity.
hypersensitivity. It enables you to detect threats and perceive your surroundings through feeling air currents and the vibrations in the air. So weather goes right along with that. There is a slight shift as he's kind of soaring, and his wings are not flapping, and he's just kind of soaring right in front of the ship, and he feels
Just like
but it's a specific air pattern that he knows and remembers when learning about things. And when he was learning to be a monk with with his master, he remembers feeling the air around you, and that was something that he remembers from Agave. So
absolutely.
it's a
So then, with
specific air
that being
pattern.
said, you would know pirating that this is called the dawn winter. This is the beginning of the winter itself, and you would know that at sea would be these large, like I don't even know how to describe it, miles and miles of like fog, like snowy ice fog that would cover the ground, like the sea to about like 700-800 feet tall. Like it's a massive winter that like is set upon the sea. Now the sea doesn't get frozen or anything because of how hard the waves rush. However, it is hard and dense to see through, which makes it difficult for pirating, which makes it difficult to do much anything. You catch all that and you can see ahead. You notice that Elroy and them are like kind of doing their own thing a little bit. For the sake of time here, would you tell Elroy? Would you tell the just like Crispy and him, like,
Yeah.
hey, what's
Yeah, as soon as he feels it, he's gonna try to make good by Elroy and fly over to him real quick and notify him.
He doesn't say much in response, but he basically goes to the helm of the ship where the steering wheel is, shifts a couple different routes or whatever, and then you see him head nods to Crispy, and Crispy goes to wake up Captain Appleback. Now, just so you know, Jarvis, because you didn't sleep at all through the night, you're not gonna take a long rest, and you're gonna have a point of exhaustion.
Okay. How do I do that? Do I do anything to my character sheet?
You could. I wouldn't worry about it. The point of exhaustion, I believe, is just you have disadvantage on skills checks. Um,
Okay.
Let me double check that. Um, yeah, all ability checks you have disadvantage. Okay.
Okay.
Until you take a long rest. And if you don't, it'll keep going to different levels of exhaustion.
So perception is now just regular. Okay.
Correct. Cool. At about like the fifth to sixth hour or so, as you guys are coming through, the fog gets so dense that you can't even see about 100 feet ahead of you or around you. So like only horizons is really only fog now. Okay. At that point, towards the end of that specific rest, Jarvis, would you wake up Nova? What would you
Yeah.
do? Or Nova, how would you wake up? Or what kind of?
As soon as I oh sorry. As soon as I notify Elroy, I'm gonna go straight to Nova. Let her wake her up. Let her know.
Okay. Nova, it's Jess. It's like when you get woken up when he gets up at like 4 something in the morning, 5 in the morning, but expecting you to get up.
Great. Nova's just gonna kind of like grunt to the point that like Jackie is gonna like run up my shoulder and be like, like leave her alone. Let her
Doesn't mean like she's sleepy fucking. What are you doing to a doctor? She's like sleeping. What do you want?
I love that he slowly learned English.
Jarvis just goes. I felt the change in the wind. You're probably gonna hit some rough weather. I just notified Elroy, and I just want to let you know.
Yeah,
Sorry.
we're fucking sea, of course. Jesus.
And he pops down, and he goes to your nose, and he taps you on the nose.
And I'm like, what?
It's getting windy out. You gotta wake up.
I love that he now is just sounds like a grandpa.
It's windy.
Okay.
As she's now getting up, you see Captain Ackleback coming out of his room. And Jarvis, you quickly see Ackleback and Elroy having a conversation to themselves privately.
Where?
Right in front of his captain door.
Okay.
He eventually pulls him into his quarters and shuts the door.
Okay.
Crispy looks, and Crispy starts looking out at the side of the ship, looking further, and he's just starting to stare. You even see him looking down at the water.
Can I fly down to him?
Go ahead.
I'm just gonna say. What do you see?
Nothing yet.
You think it would be smart for me to fly ahead and see what we're in for?
Don't get lost.
Yeah. Jarvis just flies off into the fog.
Do me a favor, Jarvis. Make me a survival check at disadvantage.
Uh, 8 plus 4, which would be 12.
Cool. Nova, you see him fly into close around enough, but eventually, as the ship's moving and the fog is going, Jarvis is in the fog. Again, think about 100 feet around, and it slowly then gets thick, and you can't see further.
She's just stressed.
What do you do? Do you do anything? The only person that you see on the ship is Crispy right now. Nobody else seems to be coming from the bottom.
Do I have a better chance of seeing Jarvis from up in the thing or down below,
In theory.
in theory.
In theory.
Did Nova get a long rest, real quick?
Yes, she did.
I didn't need to.
It was a rough 6 hours of normally you need about 8, but this was a rough 6. You can get away with that.
Cool. She is like trying to just get herself together, and now she's like, "Where the hell did he go? It's literally, I can't see." So she's kind of like freaked out, trying to figure out like where she should go. She's
That
like, "I just woke up and it's early."
That moment you finally get a hold. You see Akobak coming out of the room with Elroy. Elroy kind of slowly steps and goes down below to the second level. Akobak, Crispy looks. Akobak starts to do some sort of hand language, like a sign language to him. And you see Akobak shakes his head and points down below as well. Crispy slowly moves and goes down. Jarvis, what are you looking for?
More changes. So he's really relying on his perception and his hypersensitivity to not only determine what exactly and specifically it is, but the direction that the storm might be moving and what it might be bringing.
You feel a good sense overall that within the past hour, you've entered it, right? So in theory, however you want to take that, I don't want to tell you anymore like what to do with that, but basically you've spent the hour entering into this fog. And the ship seemed to also, before you went off, has been slowing down. Once you kind of expressed that to Elroy, the ship slowed down.
Okay.
I would.
Yeah, go ahead.
Now, at that point, I need you to just roll a perception check overall now.
19.
19.
That was normal, not at disadvantage, correct?
Correct.
Okay.
Correct. Yeah, at that point, you feel that it's a thick fog. There's nothing more that's like it's gonna get worse or it's gonna get better. But going up, would you go all the way up?
Yes. To try to get above it, I was just going to say that to get a better view and a better feel at the top of the storm, right at the line where the cloud breaks, so that he can get a better view.
You go up, you can see the sun rising beautifully. It is freezing cold up here. Like the tips of your wings get that frozen-y, iciness to it. One thing that's interesting, though, to note here, kind of off topic a bit, is when you looked at the sun, it's not as bright as it normally would be. Like, you can look directly at the sun and not have any, like, one of those moments as it's coming up. You're looking dead at it, and it's less of a bright yellow and more of like a hued orange, but you can look directly at it.
Huh.
Anyway, at that point, you can see miles around. This fog is apparent, but looking back to where you came from, there's a little bit less. Does that make sense?
Okay. Do I get a sense for the direction that the storm is moving? Is it moving toward us? Are we moving against the storm? Is it moving across where we're going? Do I get a sense?
It looks like it's it looks like it's going toward, like typically like fog stuff like this actually comes from the water and goes inland. So it's actually going like
against us.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Is
Because
there
you guys are heading west, and it's heading east.
okay? Is there any other dangerous weather other than the very thick fog that I can see? Lightning? Do I see rain clouds? Do I see anything like that?
Not specifically at this point. However, as a pirate, you would know that like a heat cloud thunderstorm, you know, 20 plus miles away can be seen from where you're at. Never touch it, but it's near, and you can see a lightning strike, and maybe 10, 15 seconds later hear. But nothing that's like, you guys are going to get stuck.
Yeah. Okay. All right. I'm gonna turn around and go back to the ship.
As you're flying back to the ship, Nova, what are you doing?
I'm keeping my eyes out for Jarvis, but also keeping an eye on Appleback. Because that's really weird that he's sending everybody below deck. Now there's no one steering the ship. And he's being really suspicious. But I don't trust him enough to go down there with him alone.
Got it. Make a perception check as you're looking for numb nuts here.
It's packed. And natural 20.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're scouting out for any. What's interesting too is that you can see the light from the sunrise peering through a little bit of the fog at moments, so you can clearly see shadow, like an even shadow of other fog, dense fog pieces. So you'll be able to clearly, when he's within about 100, 150, maybe even 200 feet, you'll be able to identify him 100%. However, 5 minutes passes, 10 minutes pass, 15 minutes pass. Jarvis, you're not finding the ship right now.
Okay.
You think you get back to where you were, and the ship isn't like there, and so, and and again, think about it. You didn't sleep all night. It's hard to, you're in a deep, thick fog, so your wings are getting covered just a little bit. Nothing's happening. Just saying the feeling of a little
Yeah.
bit of weight.
Okay.
You're gonna need to find them soon.
Yeah.
Nova is going to start playing her pan flute, like as loud as she can without being like ridiculously annoying, but just as like a backup of like, just in case he can't find me, like there's some sort of sound that he may be able to follow.
You start playing your pan flute extremely loud. Go to roll a performance check just for fun. And then Jarvis, go to make a perception check again.
No, it's gonna suck. 6. I did just wake up, so I'll give myself that. That's why it sucks.
Minus 26.
Damn, would you roll a natural 20 or like a 19?
It was a 19 plus 7.
Nice, dude. You, after about 15 minutes, Jarvis, would you get a little bit paranoid? Would you get a little bit like...
Very much so.
Like, what would you...
Yeah. Not that something like this hasn't happened before. However, because he didn't get a good rest and it's foggy and he's starting to second guess his survival skills and, but it's in moments like this that he trained to stay calm and continue to listen to the wind. So he's not in panic mode, but just kind of concerned.
The moment, so about 15, getting into like, 15 minutes, you hear like,
I want Jackie to start singing, like he recognizes the song.
Every night in my dreams, I see you, I feel you, and go on.
and he gets like, he is holding himself up.
I want him to be on my shoulder as he's doing this.
Holding your ear to keep himself. Before it gets too quick, you just changed it.
Oh, I don't have to
haven't had the music on this whole time.
This is so good. Okay, so before it gets into it too much, Jarvis, you hear it, and you would know it's about like 600, 700 feet away. And as long as you,
Okay. So
you
I
follow it,
so I can hear the direction. I know where it's coming from.
yes.
Okay.
That's good night, I love you. Give me a kiss. Good night.
Hi, Kinsley.
Good night, I love you. See you in the morning. Okay. Nova. Okay, shut it off. Shut it off. Go back to rushing.
Go back to the waves.
It's literally on the pamphlet.
I had to do that.
That's a memory. Okay, so Nova, immediately you actually see Captain Acrobac and Maggie burst through the doors from beneath. Maggie runs up, gets close, Misty steps, is up on top, and grabs the pan flute and goes,
What?
Be quiet.
Why? It's fog. What do you know that I don't know?
looks over to Acrobac. Jarvis, you're now coming in and see through, and Nova, you quickly see him. You come through, Jarvis, at the very top, and you see Maggie at the top with Nova holding her pan flute. Acrobac at the bottom, like about just middle of the ship. Crispy coming up, Elroy coming up, Carnage coming up, and Jazz coming up. Everybody is officially up on the main deck.
I want to like touch Maggie and be like, what is this? And she's like,
Just keep your voice down.
"Are you telling me why?"
Okay, yes, she will. Jarvis, you're in
Yes.
here.
As soon as I get down onto the deck, I want to land and kind of walk over to Acrobac and notify him. Jarvis just goes, winds west, east. Yeah, just. What's up? What's wrong?
You see him as he goes to the edge of the deck. Crispy goes to the other side. Elroy goes to the very front. You see Maggie is with you, Nova. Eventually, Carnage goes to the very back of the ship, and they're all leaning over.
Can someone tell me what's going on right now?
At this point, Captain Acrobac would come around, just comes to you and looks over to you. Maggie pops down, is right next to you, Jarvis. Nova, do you want to come down? Okay. You come down, quiet. It's just Jarvis, Nova, and Jazz is there with Captain Acrobac. Captain Acrobac looks to you three and goes, "We gotta keep quiet. Okay?" You eventually, right now in this moment, Jarvis, you do hear that kind of thundering sound that you saw a little bit from afar come through. Captain Acrobac quickly turns his head to that direction. He looks back at you and he says, "I don't know. Jarvis, did you see a storm coming in?"
No, I saw fog and, yeah, I specifically went up above it, see if I could see rain or, I didn't see anything. It was just fog, west to east.
Okay, well, it's not the storm that I'm worried about. It's what creates the storm.
I mean, what's going on? You guys want to tell me what's going on? I mean, you're talking to me like I wasn't out here with you guys for years.
I know. However, as things get a little complicated the past couple years, okay? It's just things, new rumors, new legends. You know this. He goes and says, might be, we gotta be careful around these parts. Big Sister could be around.
Who's big sister?
Jarvis, roll a history check. Legend has it.
Natural 20. Minus
Mo-
3. Should make it 17.
Moment you hear Big Sister, Jarvis, you go, fuck.
Jarvis
And
says, fuck.
And you go, shh. Everybody goes, shh. Aquaback leans into then
Forever.
Jazz, Jazzanova, and basically goes, Legend out. The islands off the Sword Coast share homage to a massive squid-like creature that could be found within flooded layers on secluded islands.
What the hell's a
Just-
kraken?
A kraken.
Shut the fuck up! You even see Jackie like, shut up! Whether that's destroying ships, migrating homes, and people's off islands, or completely consuming them, leaving but rubble, if that. And it's been said that there weren't just one but two of these ancient creatures, and kind of like a brother-sister combo, if you will. And it's said that both the sister and the brother were so large that the plane of water couldn't contain them, that their sheer size ripped a hole from the material plane, spilling them into this material plane from the plane of water, spilling them out like an egg yolk dripping out of a shell. he looks at you, Jarvis, and goes, "No offense."
Yeah, none taken.
You-
We don't lay eggs, you dipshit.
Oh, sorry. Furthermore,
Jesus Christ.
hundreds and hundreds of carcasses, or even the largest blue whales, began landing ashore across the coast. Fishermen were losing opportunity to bring food to their homes and their families, losing business, going under, and more people noticed the fish and carcasses. Fishermen traveled further and further away at sea and to see if there was anything more out there. And again, to their unfortune, the only parts of the crew that would return home would be broken ship planks and bloody clothes that crawled ashore.
Thanks.
And all that is left is a single storm in the horizon that can be seen. And eventually, rumor has it, a fleet made their way to hunt both sea creatures down. They focused on staying close to the storm. To their surprise, upon a scarce smaller island, they found the lair, which was underneath a disastrous storm. And the creatures came out, protecting their home, their loot, and themselves. They fought both of their siblings until the younger brother was pierced through the temple with a large harpoon, killing it instantly. And Big Sister was hurt badly but destroyed all the ships in anger seeing her brother killed. Except for one ship got away. Now, anytime there's a storm, you prepare until the day Big Sister returns with her revenge. And some say that seeing a glowing eye in the water, or some say that she has mind powers that can cause you to see things. Others say she's gone back to her plane. What? It doesn't...
Yeah,
So
yeah. I've heard the legend. She was supposed to be making home by the whalebones. Is that still the legend?
Yes, but the problem is that it just seems to... Her little island packs up and moves. So last was heard was around the whalebones, yeah.
She doesn't move. They're not creatures of migration. What do you mean she moves?
She fucking... Maybe let's just say that a group of individuals may have tried to find her lair, try to take what may have been hers.
What possessed those
You?
idiots?
Listen,
No, you person. We're not gonna listen.
Don't wait. This wasn't you.
yeah, this wasn't you. And Jazz is just like, no, this wasn't, what?
No,
Captain,
Captain, you.
did you go to the whalebones to find her?
I did not.
What in the hell would you do something like that for?
I'm like,
Shh, keep it down.
Jesus Christ.
Everybody
reason
knows.
why-
You need to understand. You put everybody in jeopardy right now. You did not tell me that Big Sister was on the move.
She It's just been a thing.
It's
been
so
the
easy to
story.
avoid the
It's-
whale bones. You know that's where she was staying, and now you have no idea where she is.
Well, we have to go past it anyway. Regardless, we're gonna go fucking route. So I'm just trying to get us to go. We're gonna take a far right, hang right. We'll be fine.
Jarvis is clearly like distraught, doesn't want to hear it, and is just kind of like walking away with his hand on his head.
And she just looks and goes, we're a little suspicious, so we want to keep
Yeah,
as quiet
no
as we
shit,
can.
you're suspicious.
Listen, she wasn't there. We checked. We checked on our way to come get you.
Where'd
She
you
wasn't
check?
there. So it'll be fine. We'll go around. It'll be fine. I'm just explaining because transparency produces trust. And it just goes down this whole like, and trust produces a kinship. And when there's a connection between one or two people, that produces community. And when you take a hill together, that's communitas.
Captain
And so-
Jarvis stops him right there and rushes him, and I'd like to shove him up against a wall.
go ahead and make a strength contest against with him.
Did we talk about being aggressive? Because that's not the smart move right now.
He's got a 16.
I rolled a 4.
You see Jarvis. You get about like 1 or 2 steps in from him, and you see as he puts his hand, he stops himself and puts his hand on yours, and just looks at you deep.
Jarvis says to him, right in his face, kind of quietly, he goes, "If anything happens to you, I'm sorry." He goes, "I'm sorry." He goes,
I hope it does.
if anything happens to you, I'm going to be very upset. No. He goes, "If anything happens to her, I'm going to kill you."
Go ahead and roll an intimidation check, or a persuasion check. See whatever.
Doesn't get any worse than a 2. Disadvantage would be 6.
Correct. He looks to you and at you
I'm
and
sorry,
goes,
3. I'm sorry, 3. +1, I was looking at the wrong one. 3.
Even worse.
looks at you and says, "It won't matter if we're all dead. So let's fucking not all die. And let's get you to Ruatham Island." She's not there. We checked.
But she's on the move, and you
Yeah,
don't know
she
where
moved.
she is.
How do
is
you
the
know that she
problem.
didn't come back?
Because her fortress, the island, the island that was told in the story, wasn't there.
But you
was-
said the island moved, so could it be there when we go past
She
it?
was the island. The island was Finback.
3 days ago, nothing was there.
Finback wasn't there.
No, I'm not saying Finback wasn't there. I'm saying, where are you looking at?
Right by the whale bones.
Oh, yeah. He goes, yeah, okay, I was going to say. The rocks were there. The whale bones, they're there. There was no other large island of sorts inside. It was clean and clear. There was no storm like this. It was clean and clear. Nothing. That's why I'm just saying, it's a storm. Just let's be quiet. Let's have a day. You know what? This is going to be good for all of us. Let's have a day of quiet.
I'm tired of your shit. We need to douse the lights. And Jarvis is going to go around and douse all the lanterns.
He does look at you and goes, for today we pass through the storm. Looking at Jazz and Unova, today is going to be very quiet. However, all of our food was flooded underneath as well. And if we don't
Great.
get something now, it's going to be harder once we get further in. So you hear him just do like a simple whistle. Elroy hears it and comes forward and he says, "I need you to get some food. Round up any others that might be worth to get some food below."
So
And,
you want to go
Crispy?
below and get food?
We're
Correct.
gonna have to.
Okay.
Do you have food for the rest of the trip for all of us,
I was
or
just
do we just want
confirming-
to?
I was just confirming what you were saying
Got it.
because what you
Got
said
it.
sounded contradictory.
Got
Thank
it.
you very much.
No, that was Steven thinking that Nova
Oh,
was
no.
being a dick. Okay,
No,
cool.
that was not no
Hey,
being a dick. I was
miscommunication.
just trying to figure out what it was.
Solid. Okay, cool. So, this all happens. Basically, I need two things. One, I need, no matter what, I need a stealth check from you all. And number two, I need, yes, and both of you are rolling a disadvantage. And because you, Nova, I think you roll a disadvantage for stealth checks. Is that true or not?
Yes, because I wear heavy armor because I'm an idiot.
My
No,
roll
you can-
was 11.
You can swap. You could, Nova, if you want to take off your heavy armor.
But then I am
Yes,
so no.
11.
11. Cool. That's all I needed to know.
Jarvis is going to get
Oh,
together
man.
with Elroy, assuming that he was just told to find food. And Jarvis says, "Where do you guys keep the nets?"
He looks at you and goes, Crispy already brought him up. He looks and just points over here to the other side and see Crispy like untangling him, like,
All right. Well, let's do this. We're floating on a big bowl of fish soup.
sorry. At this point, awesome. Do me a favor. Nova, what are you doing?
I rolled a 5.
For stealth? Cool. What are you doing within? I'm taking note of all this. What are you guys doing with? Are you helping with fishing? Or are you going to do something else? There's nets, and it seems like Elroy is taking off his clothes and he's going in the water.
That's fine. Elroy can do that. I'm not swimming.
He's a fish. He's a Triton, so.
Nova's gonna find Jarvis, and she's gonna go. I've never done this before, and I don't really know what I'm doing, so I don't know how to help.
Yeah. Not an issue. Essentially, I mean, do you mind getting wet? It's probably not. I mean, you got him, and he points to Elroy, and
I would like to not swim if I don't have to.
yeah, not a problem. That's what I'm
Elroy
saying.
goes, that's going to be tough if you're going to be wanting to go in water, or you can stay up top with Crispy and Fish.
Yeah.
And Crispy holds like 2 reels.
I'll fish. I don't really know how to fish, but someone can teach me real quickly. I'm a quick learner.
Yeah. Crispy's a
Sure, I can teach you.
yeah. He's a pretty good dry gatherer, so you're good.
I do think that training is a really good skill that everyone should really be attentive to have and give. So I can certainly walk you how to fish.
Jarvis just looks
And he
at
just,
him
like-
and looks back at Nova after that and goes, "Don't take him too seriously, okay?"
And he's gonna turn around and go, and you be careful. And I grab the fishing rod and like walk over to the edge of the ship.
And then he grabs Nova's arm and goes, "No, seriously. Don't take him too seriously. Sometimes he can be stupidly offensive for no reason."
It's fine. I've probably heard worse. You forget, I have horns.
Yeah, right. But okay. Just
You hear Crispy from the back as he like turns over to Captain Aquapack and is just like, he just says something really offensive about tieflings, and was just like,
Their horns look stupid as shit.
yeah, like super, just like, I think your horns look really bad.
I'm like, that's why I put jewelry on them.
That may make it worse. And he just grabs,
and Jarvis goes, "See what I mean?" And then he jumps off the boat.
His more than his fight. This is the tree person.
I don't get it.
Nothing.
You see Jarvis. Elroy takes. Okay, so do me a favor, Nova. Go ahead and make a sleight of hand check or a dexterity. No, just an overall dexterity or an overall strength check. As you're just fishing, Jarvis. You see Elroy taking off all of his clothes except for just like skivvies. And you can see that his body is tattooed from neck down, completely tatted up.
Jarvis,
Various symbols and like water, like waves and elemental different things.
Jarvis is kind of getting the net ready as he's disrobing, getting ready to go in there, and like they've done hundreds of times before, he goes. Some of those are new.
Yep.
Hey,
Do you
sorry.
No,
What's
go ahead.
what's the big deal? I mean, we used to be buds.
I don't know what you're talking about. What buds?
What are you talking about, man? We had each other's backs.
I think a better question. Yeah. I sorry. Yeah, I remember now. The years of thievery, lying, stealing, being on stuck a ship, somewhat at gunpoint, and if we ever left, one another here. Well, actually, we wouldn't ever did that because that's what we said. We wouldn't leave one another behind.
You're acting like we had a choice.
You're
acting like I had a choice.
There's always a fucking choice. And yeah, you did have one. And you chose what you chose.
Do you not know what Captain did? What did he tell you?
What else? He sits on the ledge at this point. He goes, "What else is new?" And he falls back into the water. Splash.
Jarvis is just kind of annoyed, grabs the corner of the net, launches it out, holds the corner that he's going to hold while flying off on the side of the ship, and flies out and just holds the net kind of while flying off maybe about 20 feet length, holding the net, and then the other end is held attached at the side of the ship, and it just drapes into the water, catching fish, and you got him going down there grabbing fish and bringing them back up.
He's throwing it up. Yep, absolutely. Still, go ahead and roll a Dex or Strength check for me, Jarvis. Nova, what'd you roll?
11.
11. Jarvis?
I rolled an 18 and a 16. Nice. So 16, you said Dex?
Yeah.
20.
Dex or Strength?
Dirty 20.
Cool. Yeah, you go ahead and Jarvis, roll me a D100. Nova, just roll me a D20.
Five.
72.
Between Nova and Crispy, you guys get 5 fish together. With Jarvis and Elroy, you get 70, whatever it was.
72.
But you guys are spending probably about 3 to 4 hours doing this, constantly. In the meantime, in that time, is there anything you say or do? Is your collected fish getting going? I mean, it's dead silent, really. You're trying to be as quiet as possible, but is there anything you say or do?
Jarvis is too annoyed to say anything from the previous conversation with Elroy, so he's just pretty quiet the whole time. A lot of grunting. Ugh. Ugh.
Eventually, after all of that time passes, you guys collect. Make perception checks. Just regular perception checks, thank you.
13.
8.
Cool. Gathering back up, Elroy's gets cleaned up, gets all his stuff. He goes back helming the ship. Still a dense fog, somewhat still like light normally, because right now it's probably like it's probably about like 11 in the 11 a.m. still. So gathering up, you see Maggie then taking all the food with Jazz, going down and kind of going down below to prepare and like get it all, skin the scales, get them all ready to be like properly seasoned and just being able to sit out. and be stored, and being able to eat that a little bit as we go for the next couple days left for the trip, and then wherever they're going to be going. So, um, in all of that, it's about 11, 12 o'clock. What do you guys do the rest of your day on the ship? Or what do you want to try? Or what do you think about? Do you guys come together? Like,
Nova is going to climb back up onto her perch, the perchy area.
okay.
And she's just gonna kind of sit with her feet like kind of dangled over the edge, and she's just kind of watching. And she pulls out her little notebook and starts like drawing people like working and whatnot.
Jarvis, what are you doing?
Jarvis is gonna, after he finishes putting all the fish into barrels below deck with Elroy, he's gonna see that Nova went up to the perch, which is where Jarvis normally likes to go when there's not much to be done, and so.
Before you go back up there,
yeah.
Jarvis, you see quickly in the second deck, because you really haven't spent much time in there. Nova, you have, but you were more on the front side. Or actually, I'm going to save this to Nova then. Nova, you, as the water was dried up yesterday, like you got all the water out, but then kind of helping bring stuff down, you recall that there looks like to be another door and that was shut, like right next to the bunks, like on the floor, that looks like that would lead further down into the ship. So Jarvis,
Yeah.
you go up.
Where's Elroy? He's steering the ship.
He's steering the ship. Maggie and Jazz went down below. Captain Aquaback is at the front of the ship with Carnage, and they're conversing. You see Crispy at the side of the ship untangling all of the nets that got all tangled up again as you guys were fishing and stuff.
Jarvis is gonna go over to Elroy, kind of casually, and he goes, "Listen, man. I'm sorry for whatever you think that I did. But I didn't necessarily want to leave. And if I'm being honest, one of the more difficult parts of making that decision was my relationship with you. When I came here, I mean, you know my story better than anyone. And I guess that makes you kind of like family. And I just want to be cool again. And I'm sorry. And he just starts walking away.
Cool. He doesn't say anything, he just steers. At this point, where do you guys meet up up at the top perch? What do you do?
Yeah, Jarvis is actually going to he plans on going up there, but Jarvis is going to try to listen in, try to eavesdrop on the conversation between Alcoback and Carnage.
Make another stealth check for me. Nova, what are you doing as you see, I'm going to say you see Jarvis doing this. You see him like you see all of this.
I rolled a
I'm
15.
I'm just like kind of looking out at everyone. Like I'm just like kind of scanning up and down the ship, just kind of looking for anything that's sus.
Okay. Jarvis, what'd you roll?
15, and while he's eavesdropping, he's doing things that would normally be done after fishing. He's helping with the nets, kind of doing things, trying to get closer to the conversation to eavesdrop.
You get by Crispy, and Crispy's just like, I don't need your help at all. You actually make it worse.
Yeah, thanks.
Eventually you get up near the conversation that you're getting with like Captain Aquaback and Carnage again. as they're kind of doing a combination of thieves' cant and um, vocally with their words. So a couple of different things, a couple of different gestures of large motion, then some moments of like Captain Ackelback basically alluding to. Actually, do me a favor, make an insight check on some of that, the body language, Jarvis.
Yeah, real quick, are
It's
they
fine.
speaking languages that I understand, or are they speaking language that I wouldn't normally understand?
Not that you really would understand.
Okay. Can I cast comprehend languages?
That's a good point. Let me see if comprehend language is.
For the duration, you
Uh,
understand the literal meaning of any spoken language that you hear. You also understand any written language. Yeah.
Yeah, we'll totally do it.
Duration is an hour.
Yeah,
I'm gonna cast.
the conversation that they have revolves a little bit more around Carnage wanting to look through the bones again and go through the whale bones again, and wanting to not take a deeper tour around. And the one thing you get a little bit is that Carnage does ask, "Do you think that Jarvis and still has the gem?" And Captain Mackelback is sort of playing off a little bit like, "No, like that's not. We're not here for that. That's not our goal. This is not the point. Like, we need to get. We have one goal. Let's get him over there, and then we'll be fine. We'll get out of our hair. They'll get out of ours. We'll move on." But the last thing you do catch is him talking about how, but we do owe Miss Crypt. We do owe her a visit after this.
Jarvis is just gonna take that information
Cool.
and fly up to meet Nova.
Cool. You fly up to meet Nova.
And Jarvis is gonna say, "Hey, listen, I know I say this a lot, but honestly, I mean, I'm sorry. You know, I know that I can be reckless, but I just, I want you to know that I do care for you, and I really am truly sorry."
It's fine. I guess you're like me, though. You're used to going at everything alone.
Yeah, and there's a lot that I haven't told you, a lot about my past that I feel like maybe I might be willing to talk to you about. But just so you know, it's not easy for me to talk about.
I have subjects like that too, so I understand.
Yeah, I guess we all do.
Yeah, me too.
And she like kind of like bumps her head, so like she like
Bonk.
nods.
Wait, no.
Oh crap! Bonk.
Are you serious about keeping this thing around, or?
Stop calling him a thing. He's really nice.
I don't know.
Is he? He looks like a fucking idiot.
He's pointing at you, Jarvis.
And she's like, listen, you be nice to him.
He's on your other shoulder.
He like turned around so he didn't get reprimanded. Yeah.
At the top of once again, it's like we feel like we're always like getting to the top of the crow's nest, and that's where kind of we're ending.
It's good nap.
It is good now. Nova, there's a moment. Well, really, for both of you, I guess. You do hear a like clashing of rolling thunder in the distance. And there's a moment where you look at everybody else on the ship and they all stop. Nobody moves.
Can I hypersensitivity here?
Yes, and don't move.
Perception check, but it's not an advantage. Normal roll.
Normal roll, yeah.
Normal roll. But you have an inspiration. You could, if you want to do something there.
I actually would like to use inspiration there. I was just thinking about that.
So, okay, heads is going to be 1. Wait, well, you pick. You get to choose.
So
That's
you want
heads.
heads to be 1 roll?
That's tails. Heads is the better of the two. So this means
heads means 2, tails means 1.
that's right.
Okay, heads. Wait, hold on. Wait, what is it?
Shouldn't it be the other way around because tails, bitch, you want to be able to yell out loud?
No. Tails is bad. Heads is good in this.
Wait, heads. I'm literally dying.
Heads is 2 extra rolls. And
Tails is 1
is
extra
1
roll.
extra
That's
roll.
correct.
Okay, cool. I got it. Yep.
It's heads, bitch.
You got 2, baby. So you get to roll with advantage.
Double advantage. I roll 3 times. Because a normal would have just been me rolling once, but I gained 2 extra.
That is correct.
So I roll 3 times and take the best of 3.
I was thinking you were rolling at disadvantage. You have hypersensitivity,
Yeah.
which is normal. Correct.
Okay.
So you get to roll.
All right. First is 12.
Wait, time out. Wait, hold on. You get to
It-
Yes, he gets to roll 2.
Okay. Well, I rolled 12 twice, so 19.
19 altogether.
Yeah, 19.
It just sounds like a deep, thick thunderstorm. The similar cold breeze and against a hot breeze flutters under your back wings. And it feels like it's coming a little bit as you, because you guys were, hold on. You guys basically, you think you're kind of going this way right now. That's kind of the goal. You'd be moving this way. The sound that it came from obviously was right, like just like further this way a bit. So if you were facing, I can't. If you're facing completely west, perfect west, it would sound like it would be coming from like here. Does that make sense?
Yep.
Okay. And again, everyone stops. And then they just keep going. And we'll pause there for tonight.
There's some serious shit
Well-
going on right now.
There's a lot of stuff going on.
It's a
for sure.
lot. It's a lot of
That's
yeah, it's a lot of balls being thrown into the air.
And just so you know, I'm trying to create I'm trying to help us like you know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah. 3, 2, 1, blast
Correct.
off.
All right, go to bed.